The Republican Party of Kentucky approved a presidential caucus for 2016. Find out what that means for you coming up.
People packed the state capitol today to support 3 county clerks. Hear what they had to say about the clerks' decisions not to issue marriage licenses. And police are trying to figure out what led to the shooting and death of a Lexington man.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Lexington police are on the scene of what they're calling a death investigation tonight. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Kristen Kennedy. You're taking a live look at the scene on Muir Station Road. Police say a driver passing by pulled over near the area to show his passenger something when they spotted the body. It's unknown how long the body has been there. We do have a crew on Muir Station Road, and keep checking WKYT.com for updates. Now to our top story. The Republican Party of Kentucky approves a presidential caucus for 2016. The move allows Kentuckians to vote for Senator Rand Paul for both president and Senate. Party leaders approved the caucus at a meeting at the Capitol Plaza Hotel in Frankfort. Garrett Weimer was there when the vote came down. He's talking to Senator Rand Paul in our top story at 11.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Rand Paul fans weren't hard to find in Frankfort on Saturday.
Hashtag stand with Rand.
They turned out in force.
President Paul! President Paul!
Showing their support as the Republican Party of Kentucky gathered to decide on a caucus.
Because it's important to me that we have Senator Paul in Washington, whether it be as president or continue as a U.S. Senator representing Kentucky.
Well, I know in other states, that candidates run for both offices, so I don't see why not, here.
Inside the meeting, party leaders also supported the idea, approving the caucus with 111 votes. It needed only 98.
It's almost a little bit like being on a jury. There's back and forth and back and forth. And ultimately, I think people got to the point where they were very comfortable with the idea.
State law in Kentucky bans candidates from appearing on the ballot twice in the same election. Paul tried to get the state legislature here in Frankfort to change the law, but they wouldn't do it. The plan approved will allow folks to vote for Paul for president in the March caucus and for Senate in the May primary. Committee members say the decision is about making Kentucky a national player in presidential politics, not just Paul's candidacy. Paul says he agrees.
And I'm thoroughly convinced that were I not in this race, that this is just good for the Republican Party, that we'll be able to grow our lists and excite people and get more people to turn out.
Now Paul must come up with $250,000 to pay for the caucus, something he says he has no doubts they'll be able to do. In Frankfort, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Paul has until September 18th to pay for the caucus. Kentucky's caucus will not be winner take all. The plan is to split Kentucky's delegates proportionately among the candidates, depending on their percentage of the vote. Today, people gathered outside the state capitol to support 3 county clerks refusing to issue marriage licenses. The refusals came after the Supreme Court's ruling legalizing same-sex marriage. The 3 clerks say issuing those marriage licenses goes against their religious beliefs. Organizers said they wanted to make sure Governor Steve Beshear heard them loud and clear.
Our message today is, Governor, please do your job. Don't just point your finger at the county clerks and demand that they do theirs. He must first do his job. And if he'll do that, with an executive order, the gays and lesbians can get their marriage licenses and the county clerks can be protected. It is that simple.
The ACLU filed a lawsuit against Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis. The U.S. 6th Circuit Court of Appeals set a deadline for briefs to be filed in that case. Her attorneys must have those briefs filed by October 2nd. The federal judge issued a temporary stay on his injunction requiring Davis's office to issue licenses so the appeals court could review the case. The stay expires August 31st, more than a month before briefs are due. And just across the river, a different group was celebrating a milestone. Today marks 2 years since the Fairness Ordinance was passed in Frankfort. The ordinance prohibits discrimination in housing, employment, and public accommodations based on sexual orientation.
We wanted to do something to celebrate our ordinance and to just bring everybody together in a spirit of cooperation and celebration.
Organizers say they had no plans to protest the rally across the river supporting the county clerks. Lexington police are trying to figure out what led to a shooting. Around 2:30 this morning, they say a man showed up at St. Joseph's Hospital with a gunshot wound. Friends tell us Robert Greer was sitting in his car outside a strip club when police believe someone shot him. Greer died from his injuries. Right now, officers are reviewing surveillance video from nearby businesses to try and get a better perspective of what happened. We have had another beautiful day across Kentucky, but we could see some showers pop up tomorrow as we head into the work week. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell has an early look at the forecast. Hey, Jim.
Yes, we do, and it is going to be a nice little run in the weather world other than tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to have a few little bumps, showers, maybe a few thunderstorms, and then the cooler air will settle in. Tonight we're actually tracking moisture on Defender. A few areas trying to show a little bit of light rain, maybe a sprinkle or two, but a lot of it not reaching the ground tonight. Now, eventually it could as we moisten up the atmosphere during the overnight hours and early tomorrow morning. A stray shower will be a good possibility. And again, this isn't a massive system that we're dealing with out there as far as those showers. Right now in Lexington, 70 degrees, low 70s, Danville, Richmond, Somerset. I mean, very pleasant stuff anywhere you look around us. And how about this? This is going to be the fun part. Temperatures we have out there tonight will be very close to daytime highs by next week. Early tomorrow morning, we're in the mid-60s. We advance through the day, and we're likely into the low and mid-80s in some spots for daytime highs. So a very pleasant little run, but look what happens. Boom. Look at that cool air as we go into early on Monday morning, and it won't warm up a whole lot into the afternoon. How about mid-70s for daytime highs? Some pleasant stuff coming your way. We just have to get through tomorrow. We'll take a closer look at all of this coming up in just a few minutes.
1 year after a charity event turned tragic, friends and family continue to mourn a firefighter, Captain Tony Grider. Grider and a fellow firefighter were severely injured helping the Campbellsville University Marching Band complete the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Grider later died from his injuries. His sister says today was one she wasn't ready to face.
He would want us not to cry over his death, but to help to make somebody's day better.
Grider was memorialized with a statue at Taylor Regional Hospital, a place he made many runs to during his time as a paramedic. He also volunteered with the Community Theater Group in Columbia, and that group has since started a scholarship in his name. What a scare for some travelers today. A suspicious item caused leaders of the Bluegrass Airport to shut down a terminal this afternoon. Lexington police say someone found a suspicious object near baggage claim around 1 today, and the bomb squad had to come in to search. Officers are not telling us what that object was. They gave airport leaders and travelers the all clear around 1:30. The closure did not delay any flights. The recent sudden death of a high school football player in Kentucky is bringing school rivals together. Javon Quarles was a student at Hopkinsville High School. He died last week when a heavy piece of equipment fell on him before football practice. Hopkinsville's biggest rival on the football field is proving to be their biggest supporter off the field. This week, the Christian County Colonels went classroom to classroom, raising hundreds of dollars for the Quarles family. Christian County Principal Chris Bensel says there's a time for competition and a time for solidarity.
It's great to be competitive, it's great to want to win, but to a certain extent you have to make sure you do what's best for kids and families in a time of need. So there's a time and place for it.
Javon's funeral was today. His younger brother, who is a high school freshman, will play football this season with Javon's jersey number. Runners laced up their shoes tonight for the first ever Kentucky Blood Run 5K. The event started and ended at the Kentucky Blood Center. Organizers say there is often a need for donations going into Labor Day weekend. If you donate blood before August 31st, you could have a chance to win a Toyota Camry. And we have a special congratulations to pass along tonight. The Susan G. Komen organization awarded WKYT's own Amber Philpott the Celebration of Life Award tonight. Recipients of the award have helped those fighting breast cancer and worked to make a difference in the community. Amber has worked as a volunteer for the organization for many years.
This night is not about me. There are so many people that have so many things that they're fighting. And for every woman that has shared their story with me and allowed me to tell it on the news is a big deal for me, because I know that what they're going through and what they have been through is so difficult.
Well said, and certainly well deserved. Congratulations, Amber.